So in 8th grade math, we learned how to find surface area, and you already learned this in 7th grade math, but in 7th grade math, they taught you to break the shape apart and like find the area of each piece. So like if you receive a package in the mail, if you break it apart, it's called the net of a shape, right? And so basically you're finding the surface area of each part. So for example, I have these tissue box right here. If I want the surface area of this, I could find the area of this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece, and then add it all together. But in 8th grade, we teach you that there's a formula that you don't have to do that. If you find each piece of the formula and follow it, then it will find the surface area for you. And so I'm just going to teach all the formulas today. It's actually super, super easy. And then you'll be able to practice it on your own. All right, so there are two different types of surface area. One is called lateral and one is called total. Lateral is just the sides, where total is the sides and the bases. And there's two bases. Make sense? All right, so let's get started. What type of shape is this? A cylinder. And remember that in a cylinder, it has a base of a circle. There are two circular bases. Does everybody agree? They are identical. So it doesn't matter if they put the radius down here or here. Now, do y'all remember what radius is? Halfway through a circle. So up here, I want you to draw a circle. And I want you to put halfway through and put R for radius. And then draw another circle and go all the way through. What is that called? D, diameter. Now, in these formulas, you need the R, the radius. So if they give you the diameter, you have to cut it in half to get that radius. Make sense? Yes or no? Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about a cylinder, and then I'm going to talk to you and show you the difference between lateral and total. So this right here that I'm holding, this Clorox box, is a cylinder. Do y'all agree? It has two circular bases that are identical. The label is the lateral surface area. They only wrapped the what? The sides. Why did they not wrap the top and the bottom? Because then I wouldn't be able to open it. Make sense? So that's what lateral surface area. The formula is 2 times pi times radius times height. For total, notice what they have in common. I need y'all to pay attention. What is this? 2 pi RH, that is the sides. And then total has plus 2 pi r squared. Now, have y'all seen pi r squared before? That is area of a circle. So these are the two circular bases. And you don't even have to understand it. You just have to follow the formula. Okay? So let's find the lateral surface area. To use this formula, I need an R and an H. What is the radius? And did they give it to me? They did not give me the radius. So what am I going to do to this? So 5.2 divided by 2 is 2.6. So that's my R. And my H is 11.2. I'm now going to simply plug that into the lateral formula, which is 2 times pi times R times H. And then let the calculator do the work. Let's round to the hundredths place. So 2 times pi times 2.6 times 11.2. Oh, there's a pi button right here above caret in blue. So you have to hit second pi. You'll find it? All right, and then I'm around to the hundredths place. So 182.9. What is this going to be? 7. And it's surface area, so it's written as feet squared. Super easy, yes? All right, for total, we're going to use that same formula. So I still need an R, which is the same, 2.6, and an H, which is 11.2. And did I already find this piece? Yes or no? So if you want to go retype it in, you can, or you could just type in your answer. I'm going to go retype it in just to show y'all. And then we're going to add this right here, but the r is the same. So that r is still 2.6. So I'm going to do 2 times pi times r times h plus 2 times pi times r squared. And that will be my total surface area. Oh, I left my r out. Make sure y'all got the same answer as me. Make sure I put it in right. Yes or no? Okay. Round to the hundredths place. That's 225.44 feet squared. Any questions on cylinders? Cylinders are super easy. And your formulas are right here. So if you want to highlight them so that you can see them or just know where they are. That's lateral. That's total. Okay, what is this next shape called? A rectangular prism. A prism is a shape where the lateral faces are rectangles. You can have lots of different types of prisms. You can have rectangular prisms, triangular prisms, octagonal prisms, hexagonal prisms. What is the thing that makes a prism? The sides are rectangles, okay? The first name tells you the shape of the base. So these sides are rectangles and the base is also rectangles. Okay, so this is a rectangular prism, so the whole thing are rectangles. Now, on rectangular prisms, because the whole shape are rectangles, you can kind of pick whatever you want for the bases. I always pick the one it's sitting on. So I want you to shade the base down here. And how many bases are there? 2. They're identical. So if I pick the one it's sitting on, then this up here is also a base. The bases are always like on total opposite sides and they're identical. They're congruent. Are y'all with me? Okay. Why is it important that I know the base? Because the formula for surface area of a prism, you have to know what the base is, because we're going to find the perimeter of the base and we're going to find the area of the base. Does that make sense? Yes or no? All right. What is the lateral surface area formula? Hello? What is it? pH. Now, to use this, you have to know what P means and H means. If it's a capital letter, it is referring to the base. So P means perimeter, not of the whole prism. Perimeter of what? The base. Why do I know it's referring to the base? Because it's a capital letter. Is H a capital letter? No. So it is referring to the prism. The height of the prism. So I'm going to say it again. If it's capitalized, it is referring to only the base, that two-dimensional base. But the H, since it's lowercase, is referring to the height of the prism. Make sense? So to use this formula, I need a P and I need an H. Now, the height connects the two bases. So what is connecting those two bases? 2.6. Once you use the height, you will never use it again. You can actually scratch it off so you don't get confused. Because capital P only refers to the base. Here's the base. It's a rectangle. How do you find the perimeter of any shape? Add all the sides. So if this is 4.3, what is this over here? 4.3. If this is 1.8, what is this right here? 1.8. So to find the P, the perimeter of the base, you're going to add all those sides. So 4.3 plus 4.3 plus 1.8 plus 1.8, which is 12.2. Now, do I have all the pieces to do P times H? Yes, so I'm just going to multiply P times H. Which is 31.72 feet squared. Okay, now we're going to find the what? The total surface area. Is this formula almost identical to this? What is the pH? The sides. What do you think plus 2b means? Plus the two bases. Make sense? So we're doing the sides plus the bases. To use this formula, I still need a P, an H, and a B. Now, I've already written what P and H mean. Do I need to write it again, or y'all okay? What does P mean? Perimeter of the base. What does H mean? Height of the prism. What do you think big B means? It's capitalized. It is the area of the base. So again, we only care about this base that we shaded in. Bless you. How do you find the area of a rectangle? Length times width. So right here we're going to do length times width because the base is a rectangle. So I still need a P, an H, and a B. We already found the P and the H, but let's talk about it again just to make sure y'all just stick it in your head. H is the height of the prism. The height connects the two bases. That's where we got the 2.6. The P is the perimeter of the base. We got this number by adding all the sides, which was 12.2. What did big B stand for? Area of the base. So I'm going to multiply 4.3 times 1.8, which is 7.74. Now do I have all the pieces to use this formula? What does this formula tell me to do? P times H plus 2 times B. So P times H plus 2 times B. My answer is 47.2 feet squared. Do y'all think the formulas are easier than having to break apart the rectangle into all of its pieces and then adding it together? I think it's easier. Okay, what is this last shape called? Why is it called a prism? I just told y'all a minute ago, what's a prism? The sides are rectangles. Do y'all see this rectangle here? One at the bottom and one on the side. Now, what did I tell you about the first word? The first word tells you the shape of the base. That means the triangles have to be the bases. So shade in your bases. This is a base. And this triangle back here is also an identical triangle to the front. There are two triangular bases. Does everybody agree? Why are the formulas the same? Because they're both prisms. This is a prism. This is a prism. Make sense? So we're still going to do, for lateral surface area, I'm still going to do pH. So I need a P and an H. How did I tell you to find the height? The height connects the two bases. So what number is connecting the two triangles? 10. So if you're ever confused, cover up the bases. The number that's left is the height. It's never part of the base. Okay, so it's 10. What did I tell you to do once you write that down? Cross it out. You're never going to use it again. It's only the h. Make sense? All right. How do you find P, perimeter of anything? Add the sides of what? It's capitalized, so we're only talking about the base. So I'm going to add 4 plus 3 plus this missing side. What is this side? 5. So what's 4 plus 3 plus 5? 12. Do I have all the pieces of lateral surface area? Yes, so I'm just going to do P times H. What's 12 times 10? 120 centimeters squared. Now, total surface area is where everybody gets confused on triangular prisms, and I'll explain why. What's the formula? pH plus 2B. So I need a P, an H, and a B. Let's go over how I got each piece again. How do I get the height? It's the piece that connects the two bases. If you're ever confused, cover the bases. That's where we got the 10 from. Write it down, mark it out. The P, we added 4 plus 3 plus 5, which is 12. Now stop. This is where everybody gets confused. What does big B mean? Area of the base. And all my 8th grade students, they say, oh, length times width. No. Length times width is for what? Rectangles. And this base is not a rectangle, is it? This base is a triangle. Who remembers the area of a triangle formula? 1/2 BH or BH divided by 2. Whatever you want to do. It is 1/2. Write that down. Right here, this is 1/2 BH. Now, why do you think I had you cross off this height? This was the height of the prism. This H is the height of the base, the triangle. That's why I want you to mark that out. I don't want you to ever use it again because it's the height of the prism, where right now we're trying to find the area of the base. You should only be looking at the triangle. Do y'all understand? Okay, so I'm going to do 1/2 base times height of the triangle. How do you know where a base and a height of a triangle is? You find the right angle. So everybody find the right angle? That's your base and your height, the two numbers that are forming that. So 3 and 4. So 1/2 times 3 times 4. What's 3 times 4? 12. What's half of 12? 6. Now I'm going to do P times H plus 2 times B. What's 12 times 10? 120 plus 12 is 132 centimeters squared. What do y'all think? It's not hard if you do it the way I teach you, okay? All right, flip to the back. We don't have to go through this whole thing, but if y'all have questions, let's just talk about it. Do y'all want to do some more examples? Which ones? I feel like the triangular prism would probably be good to do examples on. Or you know what? Let's just do one of each. Let's do number 2, number 4, and number 6, because that's total surface area of each one. All right, so number 2, what type of shape is this? To do total, we need to do 2 pi RH plus 2 pi r squared. What's the two pieces I need? The r and the h. Where does the r come from? The circle. Halfway through a circle. Did they give it to me? What is it? 0.75. What's the height? All right, so I'm going to do 2 times pi times r times h plus 2 times pi times r squared. Go type it in your calculator. Round to the hundreds. Everybody should be setting up number 4. I want to see that you wrote what P, H, and B are. If you need help, start looking up. Did everybody pick the correct height? Once I write the height down, what do I do? Cross it out. You don't want to see it again. What does P mean? Perimeter of the base. So what'd you add? 10 plus 10 plus 5 plus 5, which is what, 30? And B means area of the base. What'd y'all get? 50. All right, so you should have done P, hush, P times H plus 2 times B, and you would have gotten 700. Yes or no? Centimeters squared. All right, last one. Go find your bases. You're going to do PH plus 2B. I want to see that you wrote PH and B. This is the most challenging one, so pay attention and take your time. Check your PH and B with me, and I'll explain if you need explanation. Okay, the base are the two I highlighted, right? So the height was connecting them, which was 12. Did you get that? Then for P, you should have added 10, 7, and 9. Yes? What does big B mean? Area of the base. It's a triangle. So you had to do 1/2 times base times height of the triangle. So where would I find those two numbers? With the right angle. See that little right angle right there? So 9 and 6. So 9 times 6 divided by 2. Everybody got it? So you should have done P times H plus 2 times B. And my answer is 366 feet squared.